Hello children, welcome to another session of our computer classes. Today we have session 3, and as we are already going with the second chapter, that is fundamental of computer. So in the last few classes we have discussed what is computer, how computer is very important. Then we have discussed about the different characteristics of computers, like their advantages. Then we discuss about their limitations of computer. In the second session we have discussed about many applications of computer. Now today in the session, what are the different things that we will discuss today? Today in this session we will talk about two more applications of computer. What are their uses in library and museum, railways and aviation. In the next topic, that is design of computer, we will talk about how a computer works, where we will try to explain or try to understand what is IPO cycle. Then that is next topic that we have, that is CPU unit or central processing unit, how it works, how it is very important for any computer, what are the different functional unit of CPU. They are CU, ALU and MU. Then in the last topic that we will cover, what are the different components of computer. They are hardware and software. Then their respective types of each. So in the first application of computer that we have today is library and museum. When we talk about library, the thing that comes to our mind that there is a large collection of books. Now when we have number of books, we have some other things as well, like we need to maintain the record of each and every book in different categories. At the same time, we need to maintain the record of each and every student, that which book has been taken by which particular student and what is the due date of each and every student. Similarly, we need to keep record of various other things as well. So in library, the applications of computer is basically for record keeping and for access of data. Now tracking of resources, this is basically to locate any book. Like we have number of books, the librarian used to know which book is particular book is kept in which particular shelf. So in manual also they are very familiar with the location, but when we talk about automation, when we talk about computerization system, they can easily get it. They can easily locate the book. They can easily find out whether that book is available in the library or not without going through any register. It is very easy to identify or find out or track any particular book which is there in the library or not. Similarly, in the applications of computer, we have another benefit, that is we keep a record of the book which has been issued to other students, to all the members of the library. It is very easy to find out that this particular student has taken these number of books on these particular dates and which is the due date. And the next we have indexing. That is something very important in any record keeping business, in any record keeping task. When we talk about library, it is again, like I mentioned you, indexing is something very important. Now let's understand what is indexing. Indexing is basically a kind of method in which we give an indexing value, a reference value to each and every book. Like when we open a book, we get the content page, where we get to know that which particular chapter start from which particular page number. And in case we need to get into a specific topic or a specific chapter, immediately we get into that particular chapter without just wasting our time, because we have an idea about the page number. Similarly, indexing is helping the librarian to locate anything. It's a kind of shortcut tool, we can say, which is there to locate things with minimum effort. Then the last application that we have, that is digital historical data. We all know that when somebody or some group of people are working on any historical sites to collect some evidence, to collect some information or some historical data, they need to be kept in confidential, at the same time with more security and safety. So in museum, these computer applications are used to keep a record of all the evidences, all the information which is very precious, which is very confidential, at the same time a kind of treasure for the nation. So again, these are the different applications which we have in library and museum. Then next we have railways and aviation. These are basically the transport sector, where people actually use these services for commuting from one place to another place. Now, what is the application of computer in these two sectors? It has so many purposes, but in one line I would say these computers applications are making it more efficient and transparent booking services. Because of these computer applications, railways and aviation has received a huge transition in last few years. How? Number one, online reservation. Now when we talk about booking is basically a confirmation of occupancy of a seat. I have to book a ticket in railway or in airways from Ranchi to Delhi. Now I need to get a confirmation, okay, on this date, on this particular train or in this particular flight, I have a confirmed ticket, a confirmed berth against to me. For that, earlier people used to go to the concern counter. They used to fill up a form, they used to stand in a line, then they used to get a ticket. There was a wastage of time, there was a wastage of resources, so much effort. Nowadays people are busy with their work all the time. Now for this work you don't have to go to any counter. You have the computer applications designed for this booking purpose. You log into their web applications or mobile applications. Easily you can just book your ticket without visiting or going anywhere. The payment can be made at the same time. Then we have traffic control. Acha, before we move into the traffic control, in online reservation we have another benefit that we can choose the seat as per our choice. We have an option to choose the correct choose the seat layout or where we want to just make the journey. Similarly, there is an option for food booking as well along with the seat booking. Then we have traffic control. Now this traffic control is another advantage where these both industry are taking help of computer applications. Like if there is a junction, there is a heavy rush of always in the entire day, there is a heavy rush of trains who are coming and or coming to the station or departing from that station. Now to manage the entire traffic system, it is very difficult to make it manually. Earlier people used to do it manually, but now because of computer applications the things are getting more and more smoother. Because of this automatic traffic control, the number of accidents are become very less. At the same time, it is also very helpful for airways industries also. How? Because these airways industries are taking the help of computerized runway guide. Now this is basically a feature where these computer applications are helping these people who are working in the air traffic control office. They easily get an idea which particular parking lot is free, for which can be allotted to any particular airplane. So computerized runway guide, a kind of automatic software which decides, okay, this particular parking lot can be given to this particular flight. At the same time they also make ensure that there is no such collision between two flights while they are landing or getting having a takeoff. Then along with this there is another advantage that we have, that automatic pilot mode. We all may think like these flights or these aeroplanes used to get fully commanded by the pilots, but actually we are wrong. Nowadays more or less each entire aeroplane system, entire aviation industry are having autopilot mode, where most of the work are being managed automatically, just because of predefined well standard set of program made by these softwares or just introduced in the form of different applications. So in autopilot mode, pilots used to be there to observe the thing, to give the instruction, but the entire journey of a flight is not actually made by the pilots. There are many things, most of the things are actually managed by the computer itself or the concerned installed software itself. Then the last benefit that we have, running live status. This is something that I think many of us are already familiar about this. Earlier when we have to receive someone in the station, we know that train will reach to that particular station at 4 o'clock, we used to there by 3:45 or by 4 o'clock. Sometimes we used to reach and then we come to know that the train is delayed by 4 hours or 2 hours or 3 hours. Just to avoid the traffic, to avoid the rush in the market, we used to wait in the station only itself. But nowadays, because of so many enhanced applications, mobile applications which is available in the market or which is available in the Play Store, which allow us to identify or to just get to know exactly this particular train is located in this place, or this particular train is having this particular running status, where we get to know whether this train is late or this train is on time, or this is the current status of a train, whether it is a local train, passenger train, or a super fast train, or any premium train. So running live status is another application or another benefit that we are having just because of computer applications. The next topic that we have to discuss, that is design of computer. So that is basically the layout of a computer, the structure of a computer, that how a computer works. And this is something that we have already discussed somewhere in class 6 or 7 or maybe in 8, that a computer works on a cycle, that is input, processing and output cycle, or IPO cycle. Now this input is something very important for any task to get executed. Even in our day-to-day life, whatever we consider, whether you are going to the school, or we are doing your work, or we are having our lunch or dinner, in all these scenarios always there is some IPO, there is some cycle called IPO cycle, because there will be some input, there will be some processing, or there will be some output. So what we were saying, that in the beginning whatever computer will do only with the help of raw material, and that raw material is called input, or in other words we also say they are data. Data are, in fact they are being defined as, the data are raw facts and figure, like about which we don't know anything, means whatever we know, that is a partial information that we have. Let's just first discuss about IPO cycle, then I will come to the data and information. So input is the first information or the very beginning information, the things that we need to have in the very beginning to process anything. Like if I have to want to have a cup of tea, to have a cup of tea I need to have tea, I need to have sugar, I need to have tea leaves, or maybe water. Now these are raw material, these are something basic requirements to have a cup of tea. Now how I am going to prepare the cup of tea, it all depends on me. Maybe I will mix up everything, then I will boil it, then I will have a cup of tea. Or maybe I will just boil water with tea leaves, then mixing sugar at the end I will just put up milk into it. Whichever process I follow, I will have output at the end of the day. So that processing, that is the center part, that is the important part. That processing depends on the set of instruction that I am giving along with the input, and it always varies. You can take any example, like if I have to go from Ranchi to Delhi, or any particular destination, from source to destination, you can reach to that destination by any means. Maybe you will go by your own vehicle, or by public transport like bus, maybe railways, maybe airways. So what I'm trying to say, that the processing is completely dependent on the instruction that has been given with the input, and after the processing, the output, the result, the things that get produced, that is called output. So in the example in related to that tea, we can say the raw material of making a cup of tea are inputs, the way we are preparing the cup of tea is processing, and a cup of tea in our hand which we are just enjoying, that is output. Now along with these IPO cycles, you can see there are two basic terms that has been mentioned, that is data and information. Let's just talk about these two different terms. Like I was telling you, data are raw facts and figure. Data are raw material. Like suppose I have three words, Ram, 15, class 9. Just consider them. Imagine a situation where you are just having three things in your blackboard. I have written Ram, class 9 and 15. I don't know anyone with this individual name, then I will simply think that okay, this is a name. 9, I will think just this is a number in Roman form. Then 15, again a number. So this is raw material, this is data. Now I will form a sentence along with these three data. Ram is a student of class 9 and his roll number is 15. Or I may have another sentence, Ram is a 15-year-old student and he is in class 9. So you can just see I have three inputs at the very beginning, three data at the very beginning, but at the end the information that I am getting, the output I am getting, the result I am getting, it all depends on the nature of instruction that I am giving. So data are raw materials and information is the produced result. Then we have CPU or Central Processing Unit. We have been heard about this CPU at many a time, that this is the brain of the computer system. This is the heart of the computer system, a kind of control centralized system which manages everything of a computer. Now, how it works, we will talk about it, but before that we need to understand that what are the different functional units, what are the different technical parts of a CPU which works at all time to do everything whatever we are requesting. They are CU, they are ALU and MU, control unit, arithmetic logic unit and memory unit. Now you must be wondering how they are working, so let's just go to the next slide. That is CPU cycle. Purposely I have just given a diagram over here. In your book also you will get a diagram. Through this diagram only I will try to explain the entire cycle of CPU. Just so you can see here, in the very first left hand side we have input unit that is attached to a CPU, where we have two major unit, CU control unit and one another unit, ALU. Then that is additionally or externally attached to another unit, that is main memory or memory unit. And then again that CPU is attached to the output unit. Now let's again come to the very beginning, input unit. Now listen this particular example carefully so you can understand how CPU cycle works. Now what does it mean, input unit? A kind of set devices, a kind of unit which is used to give the input to the CPU. Maybe keyboard, maybe mouse, maybe scanner, through which we are giving our input to the CPU. Now वो input CPU के अंदर चला गया. Now whatever input has been given by us, that will be accepted by CPU. Now inside the CPU we have one major unit, the primary unit, that is control unit or the boss of the CPU. Immediately the control unit will not start the processing. Whatever instruction we have given, that will be stored temporarily in the main memory. वो कंट्रोल यूनिट बोलेगा कि आपने जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया है मेरे पास आ गया है, लेकिन इसको आप अभी फ़िलहाल कहाँ जाके खड़े हो जाइए या कहाँ पर जाके वेट कीजिए, मेन मेमोरी में, यानी प्राइमरी मेमोरी में, दैट इज़ रैम. Why? Because ALU is already processing some other instruction or some other task. A kind of token system is working here. Now once the ALU is free from his assigned work, control unit will say कि आपका टाइम, वेटिंग टाइम खत्म हो गया, अब आप जाके मिलिए किससे, ALU से. ALU will accept the input based on the given instruction along with the input. वो ALU उसको प्रोसेस करेगा, जो भी रिजल्ट होगा अब वो रिजल्ट CU को भेज देगा. अब CU डिसाइड करेगा वो रिजल्ट कहाँ जाएगा. वो या आउटपुट यूनिट के पास जाएगा, जैसे मॉनिटर, प्रिंटर या स्पीकर. उसके साथ साथ ये भी डिसाइड करेगा कि ये जो आउटपुट जनरेट हुआ है उसको क्या करना है. अभी फ़िलहाल वो टेम्परेरी मेन मेमोरी में स्टोर है, लेकिन अगर यूज़र चाहे तो उसको वो लॉन्ग रन पे अगर स्टोर करना चाहे, जो बाद में भी काम आ सके, उस कारण कंट्रोल यूनिट क्या कर सकता है, उसको सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज डिवाइस में भी सेव करके रख सकता है, लाइक हार्ड डिस्क, लाइक पेन ड्राइव, लाइक ऑप्टिकल डिस्क, लाइक CD, DVD. So this is how a CPU cycle works. Once again, input unit, is the primary first unit through which input getting accepted by the to the computer, which accepted by CPU. In CPU we have three units like control unit, arithmetic logic unit, memory unit. Control unit manage the flow of everything, it execute everything, it instruct everything कि इसको क्या करना है वो कंट्रोल यूनिट बताएगा. अब कंट्रोल यूनिट पहले वेट कराता है मेमोरी यूनिट में, बेसिकली वो प्राइमरी मेमोरी होता है. फिर प्राइमरी मेमोरी से वेट करने के बाद जाएगा ALU, यानी जो सारा कैलकुलेशन, सारा लॉजिकल कैलकुलेशन एनालिसिस का काम करता है. ज़रूरत होगा तो कैलकुलेशन करेगा, नहीं तो फिर जितना भी जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शन हो इंस्ट्रक्शन के अकॉर्डिंगली वो प्रोसेस करेगा और फिर CPU को दे देगा, अब तुम संभालो. कंट्रोल यूनिट का ही काम है उसको आउटपुट डिवाइस में भेजना जो ऐसा इंस्ट्रक्शन हो, या फिर सेकेंडरी स्टोरेज डिवाइस में स्टोर करना. Then we have components of computer system. In components of computer system we have basic two components, hardware and software. This is something that we have discussed for a number of times. Hardware are something which is tangible in nature, which is something which we can feel or touch or we can see. So in hardware we have input devices, output devices and storage devices. These topics we will discuss in the next class. Whichever topic we will able to cover, we will just see. Then we have another components of computer system, that is software. Software is a set of program which is designed to fulfill our requirements. So basically a computer is a combination of hardware and software. It's not always only about hardware, it's not only about software. It needs to have both hardware as well as software. Again, hardware is a set kind of physical device which is having some shape, some size, and software is a kind of intangible thing which is logical in nature, a kind of set of program. We will discuss in detail what is software, what are the different types of software in other sessions. In the next session we will talk about input devices. As you can see, there are around 7 to 9 input devices and 3 output devices. We will see how many input devices and output devices we are able to cover. So this is for the day. Thank you.